Today, I am persuading parents of Haywood County students at the Haywood County Waynesville Public Library to opt for online learning in the July Haywood County Schools Survey. This speech is to these parents to persuade them to opt for the online learning because this survey, it will help inform those who are making the voting what it is that the public would want and who would send their students and who wouldn't, to kind of have a percentage. The governor has issued information that the Plan B for Haywood County schools, and I'll cite everything below if you want to read it, is most likely our course of action, and the survey is to inform those voting about what the people want and their concerns with Plan B. You should voice concerns about the close contact of students during the survey because close quarters has been proven to still cause outbreaks of COVID-19. A recent Oahu Hawaiian Airlines flight attendant training class spawned 24 cases, which infected 2 different gym classes, totaling an additional 20 because of this cluster outbreak. And cluster outbreaks are basically when a group of people are together and they pass it to each other. Students in classrooms will have to remove masks for certain things of the day, such as drinking water, and will not always follow regulations or 6 feet away rules. Outbreaks like these will inevitably happen if we do not social distance, because cases such as the Oahu case will happen in large numbers, and with whole hallways and an entire school could end up being exposed. According to one of the doctors, Dr. Anderson, who worked on the Oahu case, tight spaces that are indoors without being well ventilated or risky, and schools would fit that. And being in a small room with people sweating and breathing hard is not a good place to be. Outbreaks like these will inevitably happen, and the announcement that was released in June explains guidelines for the Phase 2 course of action, which is also what is being looked at in the surveys along with the Plan B as the potential voted-in decision for schooling, like as a joint thing. In this phase, for guidance, health, and safety, face coverings, such as, are required in the school buildings and buses, but there are exceptions that exempt you from this that will inevitably lead to many outbreaks due to the fact that the announcement states that anyone who declines to wear a face covering for these reasons, if they claim one, should not be required to produce any documentation or any proof of their condition. So there's nothing saying that students couldn't just claim one of these exemptions because they didn't want to wear the mask, since nothing is having to be documented. These rules only apply also to students 11 years of age, and I have lists in the back. And there are some that make sense and that are necessary for those such as those who have disabilities, or for those who it impedes their ability to work the machinery, perhaps for a job. But children who are unruly in that you cannot get the face mask on that is permitted. And giving a speech to an audience or a class, or exercising like for a PE course, actively eating or drinking, or if you're under 11, which this decision is for those who are K through 12. So our elementary students will not be required to wear a mask, which makes sense, but it will still cause outbreaks. This survey is to help our country decide what we all want as a whole, and to go back to school now when the outbreaks are still heavy, and to do so with this in place, as the presumed plan is a terrible and unsafe idea for our community. We all need to take this survey and express our concerns about the virus and the guidelines, and the fact that the Phase 2 needs to be altered, to be kept at home our students need to be kept home for online learning, or only in in-person environments as little as possible.